Let me boost it.
Okay. Link in Discord again for your YouTube live streaming. Um, what up? 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 What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's going on?
Nothing. We constantly have technical difficulties throughout this entirety, and I think it's because of the amount of time we don't do it enough, and I just forget how to do everything every time.
This is streaming in general. It should be easier, but it's not.
I wonder if it's like us being old, or if it actually
No,
just
I
is a
don't think
pain in
so.
the, yeah.
Because if it was just this being old, then the kids would be streaming like this. But the kids don't stream like this. The kids stream like they stream like this.
That's true too,
You
and
know.
it's the dual. The dual. That's
Yeah,
like
we're trying.
extra, extra.
And you got the you're trying to do the picture in picture with the
Mm,
screen. There's a
yeah.
lot going on, and people have dedicated people to do this, but we don't do this every day.
Right, right, right. There's somebody that actually takes care of business while the other people just sit and wait to talk.
They just sit and talk. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you get a
Um,
producer.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
So
we
that's
are
our
we are
next step.
we're doing it all just so you guys can hear us chit chat about random shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And
today
this
we're
time, I
talking
hope the
about.
audio looks good because
Oh yeah, can we get an audio check? I mean, you heard it. It's not
I
before
think
we
it
we
sounded
thought
good.
we thought Mike was his audio was good, but it turns out it was just these are open ear headphones, so the sound doesn't trap in; it escapes.
So you could just hear me through your headphones.
and, we, and we were like, and I was turning him up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's sounding a little better, but when you play it back, it definitely sounds like absolute crap." So yeah,
That's good.
but we're
That's good.
good now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You've
Mm-hmm.
you've checked it, I'm sure. Okay.
I checked. It sounds right to me, but
Okay, cool.
we'll see if we lost our one fan, our single fan.
Nah, we would never lose the homie. Can't remember his
What do
name.
we want to talk about today?
I think we agreed that we were going to talk about a new purchase that you've acquired over the 2 week break we've been on.
Yeah, Black Friday got me.
It got you good,
It got me really good.
and
Actually,
you got the deal for the day, but now you have a lifetime of payments to filament refills.
I've got a lifetime of anxiety and frustration is what I have now.
Oh, have you've been getting frustrated? I thought it was going good for a second.
No, it was, and it's gone completely to shit.
Oh my god, I haven't talked to you in 2 days, and now
I, I
the
I can't print anything. Nothing will stick. Everything I try to print, I cleaned it. Anyway, it's a 3D printer. Just to give up the secret here. I got a 3D printer. I got a filament printer, so not a resin printer because I wanted to print some things that I wanted, to use. Um,
that
and it's not for the faint of heart. Um,
that's true.
it's a dirty, messy, frustrating business trying to get a 3D printer to work.
Yeah, and it's not always going to work. Even after you've completed it and everything looks good,
Right.
it will no matter what still want to for better or worse fuck you in the ass. Hey, what's the 3D printer called? Let me put it into Google here.
So I actually bought two 3D printers,
Right.
but I'm gonna return one.
Okay.
I got a little trigger happy with the Black Friday sale on the
Not
on the
one,
any.
but two.
Well, first on the Black Friday sale, I got the Anycubic Cobra 2 Neo. I think it's called.
Okay.
It's a beginning printer. It's whatever. It's good. Good reviews, but actually, not a lot of people online have it. or talk about it. So that was a little hard too, trying to find specific things for that printer.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I also have a Anycubic. Mine is a resin printer,
Right.
but it's not nearly as popular as the Elegoo. Like, it's
Oh,
hard,
right.
it's hard to find people talking about it because not that many
Yeah,
people have it.
and I do think Anycubic is started as a resin printer company, so even that may be more than this. I think their filament printers are like brand new, but
It's got
regardless, it
it's got
works
5
okay.
stars.
It seems to work, but it's not very. It was 150
It's really
off.
good.
It was like 50% off, yeah. So it was like a really good price for it. Um, but it's not. You can't really do much to it. It kind of just, like you can't like tweak it much, or if you have to clean the head, apparently, or like the print head, apparently, it's like really difficult to take that apart. Um, what I've heard is that the Creality printers are a lot more user friendly. Not user friendly, but a lot more like able to be taken apart and clean and change parts out and upgrade parts. So they had one at the store at Micro Center where I went. They had one open box for $100, which is like
It's even cheaper.
crazy price because it's the same price as the other one. And the open box was a little bit of a mess, I'll be honest, but
Somebody
seemed to
turned
work.
it on, tried to print something, was like, forget it.
yeah, goo is all over the fucking thing.
Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah,
Back in the box. Yeah,
this
this
is
print
going
head.
back.
This print head looks like. Why is there like armor on it? It's like it's,
on the Anycubic
yeah.
one. Yeah, I don't know. It's apparently from what people said, it's like hard to take apart and clean the inside. So if you have any problems, it's like a whole deal. But
a knob screen. Okay, what's the Creality that you actually the Creality?
I got
because that's the one
the
you are gonna
Creality.
keep, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it because it was just so cheap and like editable. The Creality was the Ender V3 SP.
Okay.
I don't know what SP stands for.
Ender V3SP. SP or SE?
SP? I think it's P, but I don't know.
SV. Creality, if you end up seeing this, figure out your naming conventions because this.
Oh,
is this is
they don't give a shit. From what I read, their beginner.
What is these? S.
Apparently, their beginner lines are just, from what I was reading, just prototype parts that didn't work for their high end designs that they just mass produced and throw onto their
they're just
low
like,
end
okay,
designs.
Is this
And they
the
just
one?
make versions.
SE.
Uh,
SE.
yeah, Essie. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Look, she's got a vase. That's nice.
Yeah.
What's this guy printing? DIY gadgets. Dude, these are all AI generated images.
I know for sure.
Like the people they're 3D. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, the
3D.
people are 3D,
3D
and the printer is 3D.
Okay.
Did they
Yeah,
have enough? Did they have the right amount of fingers? That's all that matters.
I feel like Creality. Oh, look, there's yeah. An awesome 3D print will make your day. All right. So I would agree with that, but the chances of hitting on a 3D print perfect will not make your day. And
I'm excited about getting it tuned, but right now, it's a real nightmare.
so, like, what exactly is going on?
So right now, and from what I'm reading, it has to do with the bed where you print on. But right now, it won't stick. Like
To
it
the
just
bed.
fucking, and then it just like balls into a ball, and nothing sticks to the bed. And from what I've read, you can't touch the bed, which I did. So then they're like, you got to clean the bed. So I cleaned the bed, and I used alcohol on the bed, and it still won't stick. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I turned up the heat. People are saying it needs to be higher heat. You need to get your Z offset right.
Yeah.
Nothing's working. So I'm in a bit of a frustrating place. I have a Reddit thread that I've tagged that I need to go through all of the steps that one of these guys says. He says this happens with, I have this printer. This is what happened. This is great. That's the good part about this printer in particular is that like there's a whole red subreddit that's full of people who have it, whereas with the Cobra 2, that is not the case. So it's nice that there's like people at least with suggestions.
What makes it stick to the bed in the first place?
The material, there's different materials you can get. Like you can get a glass bed, and then and that can sometimes work better. Or this one's like a textured metal bed. But apparently, like your finger oils will really fuck it up. So like, I really messed up by basically touching the shit out of it when I first got it.
You have oily fingers, dude.
I'm just an oily man.
And now the
But
filament is just sliding around.
and it just won't connect. So I need to figure that out. But when I was printing, it was fun. I was having a lot of fun getting stuff. I was really excited right when it stopped working. I was gonna do like custom back caps for my lenses with like my logo on them, and I just can't get it. It just won't stay. I printed one with nothing on it, so I have one back cap that just has no thing, and I tried to add my logo, and now it just won't fucking work. Now nothing will print. Things that I've printed before just won't print. It's just very annoying.
So frustrating.
I know.
And it's like every time you try to test print now, you're going to be cleaning it because it's not going to work, and then you're wasting materials, which is actually dollar bills that you're essentially flushing down the drain.
Right. So 3D printing, again, it's not for the faint of heart. You really got to be ready for a hobby that's going to take up a lot of your time. I hope that it gets to a point where it's set and I don't have to fucking do this all the time because I'd like to just be able to print. But
yeah, I've had a couple failed prints the last couple of days too. We're in the same boat here.
Yeah.
There's a
nothing as messy as that picture you sent me that one time, right?
That picture was insane. I was like, this guy.
Why don't you tell what you have? So you have a printer, but you have a different one.
I have a resin printer because I paint little 3D models, so I decided to drop a couple $100s to print my own 3D models.
Smart.
Which has been
rather than a couple $1,000s to buy them.
So I have saved a good chunk of money. I am still purchasing official stuff as well, so it's actually just feeding more into spending money constantly on this stuff.
Nice. Nice.
But if you think filament is a mess, let me tell you, resin printing. There's a reason why these were kept in factories for so long, I think. And like this is like, it is.
I was gonna say when you sent me, you were telling me people do this in their houses with like no ventilation, and it's like people should not be allowed to buy one of these. Maybe.
They should have like people come and like look at your home to see like if there's a danger to this, to like being exposed to this shit at all times. Because it's pretty gross stuff, and it gets everywhere.
Right.
Like even like you should put the goggles on, right? Like, yeah, you're not gonna spill anything you're thinking, right? So, but like, you put the goggles on, you gotta take the build plate off, and it's like so stuck to this build plate, you gotta like, right? You gotta jet, but like, if you hit it just right, there's like
shards going in your face,
liquid drops right.
right in your eyeball.
I read people on Reddit being like, yeah, make sure you wear the eye cover. I lost my eyesight out of my left eye because the resin got in there, and like,
what?
I mean, if the resin gets in there, like, I just imagine like it cures from UV, right? So even if you get a little bit, like, the sunlight will like freeze the resin and like harden it, like.
It can blind you,
bro. This stuff is bad. This stuff is bad, and it smells bad.
I am
really
not
bad.
into that.
Yeah, I know you were like, maybe I'll get one. And I was like, well, I don't know, man.
If you're not doing minis, it's really pointless.
That's true. That is also true.
I feel like you can print. You can't print usable things with it because resin's a little more. Isn't resin a little more?
It's very brittle.
Brittle, yeah.
You can buy this stuff called like tough resin, but it's like 3 times the price of regular like resin that you would use on
damn.
minis. I like it a lot. It is very fun when the print comes out perfect and you're like, dude, this looks so cool. But when it doesn't, it is the biggest mess and most annoying crap in the world because again, you've spent money on nothing essentially. It's just trash and a mess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is it right here.
Well, that's cool. I mean, again, I think like if you do a lot of minis like you do, this is a easy decision.
Yeah,
It's not easy. I guess it's not easy, but
I got mine for $100. This is $529 brand new when it came out. So at the time,
that's the same one you have.
that's the one I have. Yeah.
How did you get it for $100? Damn, what a good deal.
Some kid,
Oh yeah,
some
that's
kid that had it in his room with him bought another one, so he had two of them. It
so
was
you're gonna
like-
find out that kid's dead now.
Actually, and for anyone watching, and if you do decide to do resin, there is this one video online that everybody talks about, and it's this guy who's a complete idiot. And so there are these things in resin and I guess in filament printing, but it's like they're called voxel lines. You can kind of see like by pixel, like when you really look at it.
More so in filament, but yeah.
Yeah, more so in film, but in resin you can still see this. And this guy's cure to getting rid of this stuff was putting resin in his airbrush and spraying the model to fill in the spaces. Aerosolizing the resin. And like people were watching this video like, oh yeah, that's a great idea because this is like he's like a 3D printing YouTuber, like one of the bigger ones.
Right.
And he's spraying in his room and just like
Is that guy dead now?
just whatever you do, do not do it because inhaling this stuff is definitely not what you want.
I mean, if you do have like be wearing a respirator and eye protection, like
You should, yes. Yeah, practice doing that. It's just very annoying, but that is stuff
Insane.
that needs to be practiced. But yeah,
insane.
this is really good for models, but I think for like Mike was asking to print some pretty cool stuff, some cameras.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, let's get to the camera part of it. It's not going to be Fuji specific, but I've been looking at printing some cameras. So I already printed one, but it wasn't my printer.
pop that up.
I've shown this before, I think, but I printed this camera. So this is a medium format 6x12 panoramic camera. It shoots film, so the reel goes in here and slides across, and you have to manually turn it to get it into the right position. And I bought this. This is a large format lens that I bought because you need a big one to cover the 12, the 12 wide negative. And this was $300, I think. I should have bought a different one. This one is not. If you are looking to do this is called the Goodman Zone. This woman, something Goodman in the UK, has a whole website of medium format printable cameras. Some of them work with Mamiya backs. Some of them you can print your own back. Like this one has its own back. Some of them are just 6x6. Some are other formats, like this one 6x12. And it has a whole list of the lenses that you can buy for other cameras that will work, and they build them out for that lens. So a better one for this and for most of them is like, there's like a Mamiya. There was an old medium format camera called the Mamiya Press camera. Have you ever seen this camera?
Mm-mm.
So it was a camera that Press used back when they were doing mostly film and they were getting into medium format. It's called the Mamiya Press. And it had a flash built into it,
Yeah,
and it had a little tiny lens to put on the front, and it was super flat, so it wasn't a single reflex. It had no mirror. It just had the little viewfinder like this, and you just took a click and the flash came out. So those lenses are great for these prints, actually. But this one's been good. I haven't actually developed any film on it. I have 10 pictures in here from Ireland that I need to finish. I need to take one more picture and then
You'll be good
print
to go.
this.
Yeah, that
I didn't
looks-
finish it out, but
This is so cool.
yeah, it was really awesome. It was fun to put together. It was fun to pick the colors. You know, you get to pick your own colors. I actually broke a piece while I was putting it together, and I just had my buddy print another one, and it was no problem. So I want to print another one. I think I'm going to sell this lens, this $300 large format lens, and get one of those Mamiya press lenses
Ooh.
because I want to build the Branco pan,
Oh yeah,
which I've shown
Branco.
you.
That's the one we were thinking about printing, and then I put it on my print bed, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work on this resin printer.
Yeah,
But it
it's
might.
probably a bad idea to have something so brittle.
Yeah.
But the Branco pan, do you want to link to that, or you got it?
Here, let me. Branco pan. Ooh.
And the reason I got into this, just to like jump back a second, is because I wanted I really wanted to get a film panoramic camera, and there's a couple of ones that are famous now because I think like Jeff Bridges bought it and like started using it, and then everybody wanted it.
You
The
don't want to.
the wide pan or something. But
You don't want to buy the. What's the one that's so expensive now? The Fuji one. It was a Fuji one and a Hasselblad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the X-Pan. X-Pan.
the X pan, yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
But the Branco pan uses 35 millimeter film, but it shoots a super wide image
That's so cool.
on 35 millimeters. So you get like, I mean, I think it's like really wide, like ridiculously wide.
Let's see if they have a sample
So
in here.
I think they do on there. But I really want to print that and give that a shot. I think the images they were showing from it, and it's kind of like, it's not tiny, but it's kind of fun that it's like kind of small.
Yeah, and everyone, don't mind the ads on the sides of these web pages. We're not affiliated with any of these ads. I was trying to get rid of it, but it didn't work. But yeah, this is tight. Look at that.
Do they have samples on there? Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'm going to print that next. That one's a lot harder. This one actually, so if you guys are looking to print a camera, this one is a lot easier because you manually wind, and so everything's very manual, and so it just sort of fits together like Legos. And now you focus with this thing. This is how you focus. You just turn this, and the lens pops out further,
Yep.
and you turn it this way, and it goes in. With that one, you actually like build the mechanism to like wind the
Right.
thing. So there's like springs you have to put in. You have to like take a spring out of a Bic pen and use it in the winder. There's a lot of little parts. It's very complicated to put together. So I'm not looking forward to it, but it should be at least fun for a little bit.
You'll have-
And also like the parts have like really tight tolerances, so you end up like it won't fit. And the guy on the video was like, then you have to sand it more. And then if it doesn't fit, you got to sand it more. So the tolerances are like really tight on it as well. Which this one was super easy.
I
Just
think the
fucking
tolerance thing too
fair it
is
together.
from 3D printing itself, because
Right.
sometimes it like it doesn't know if it's gonna expand, if it's gonna like be a little too
Right.
tiny, but
And it depends like what's the temperature when you're making it. Is it cold in the room, or is
right.
it warm in the room? Depending on that's how much it'll expand, the material you're using. So that's going to be not fun, but I'm excited to do it.
You'll have to document
nonetheless.
the entire process. And we'll have to do a vid
I definitely should, yeah.
because that looks insane. Okay, let's see. You sent me some links. Let's. What is this? What is this, dude?
Just other little
This
things you
what
can
is this
do.
Raspberry Pi camera. What kind of?
Oh,
footage?
so that's sort of the big one. That's
Oh,
the
that's
one
a
I'm
big
really
Okay,
looking
hold on.
forward
Let's
to.
do this one first, then. Let's do the Helios. Oh, a casing.
So I have that lens, but this is just stuff you could do. I don't know if I will do this, but you could print like cinema housing
Yeah, yeah.
for some of your vintage lenses. Like this is the Helios 55, or 54, which I think you have. I got you that as
Yep,
well.
I have one as well.
So you could make it into like a more cinema lens with like full gears, and it's bigger, and it's got like a normal sized front element.
Pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, it could be cool. I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. I like the lettering on it is real big.
Do you have to
Um,
glue the? Do you have to glue it onto it, or can you take it apart
no,
after?
it like clamps around it, and then and then you bolt it together. So it's
Oh,
like
I see
two
the
pieces.
screws. I see the screws.
So it'll
Actually,
like one piece will go around the iris, and you screw it together so that that it connects, and then one piece will go around the focus, and you'll screw that together, and then one piece goes around the front, and you screw that together. So it's like like six pieces that are like bolted on it.
yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope. There's other things too. You sent me that one thing that was like stereoscopic 3D images you can shoot
Oh,
with
right,
two
right.
cameras.
It was like a tube that you would print
It
out.
looks so dumb, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like kind of cool.
The hell? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that looks awesome. Again, I think, yeah, I would not trust resin to be pressed around a camera
Right.
lens
Right.
just because of
And like gears, like so you're doing with the other gears for the follow
those are
focus. Is the resin just
constantly.
gonna chip them off or something? Yeah, it's.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like yes, but I know that
I
like
mean,
everyone that does like prototyping and stuff, it's always filament, dude. It's not
I
resin.
mean, I'm probably gonna get a resin printer at some point. So
We'll have to test
if
it
I
out.
can ever get this filament printer to work, I'll keep going and get a resin. So maybe you just need to get a filament printer.
I
And that
think
will
I
be good.
do. There's a couple filament things that I would want that would be filament versus resin.
Right.
Okay, so this is a video camera, huh?
Yeah. So this thing I saw, Cinepie, I saw this thing pop up on I think it was Petapixel or something, and um, somebody made a cinema camera out of a Raspberry Pi. And it's incredible. The parts cost about $250,
Okay,
and it shoots
2K RAW,
4K or 2K RAW, 4K something else. Now I
50
think they've
frames
actually
with
updated it.
12-bit color
It's like really cool
for $200.
for $200. And if they come up with a new sensor, just fucking drop it in.
You just drop it. Really?
Just drop in a new sensor because you put the whole thing together, so you can just take it apart, put a new sensor in, put it back together.
Oh wait a
This is
second.
the top. So that's the top sensor that they make for the Raspberry Pi, which is a good sensor. You know, it's like 12 megapixels or something, but it's kind of small. It's like a 1 inch sensor.
Okay.
So so you're dealing with a little bit of like sort of like having a Micro Four Thirds camera,
Okay.
but they're hoping to get the sensor from the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Raspberry Pi. The people who make Raspberry Pi things are trying to get that sensor for Raspberry Pi.
Uh-huh.
It's like I think it's I forget who makes that sensor, but if they do that, then you basically have a Blackmagic Cinema camera for $250,
And it's in that
$300. I
it's
don't know
in
how much that
this
sensor would be.
it's in this tiny little thing. What kind of lenses does this take? What is that lens?
So I think there's
is that a
C mount right now,
the Fuji
um,
C mount? That's what it looks like to me, the CC mounts or whatever.
but I don't know. I imagine they'll just be able to do any. Like you could probably doing. I mean, other than the fact that
Well,
you
you're
won't
right.
have any of the.
You just print the mount with the
You just print them out. So like you could do anything.
This is very cool.
I am excited. I mean, I think it's going to be a long time before, and it would actually take a lot of people working on it. But it would be really cool to have a camera that you could upgrade easily. Like this, like again, the sensor, drop a new sensor in, a new screen, your screen breaks, just drop a new screen in, new mounts, just print new mounts for it. I mean, that sounds
That's
really
super,
fun.
That's super cool. And it's not going to take, I mean, like, could you use it professionally if you had it? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I would maybe use it as a C cam, maybe. I don't know that you could trust it.
What
I'd
if
have
it,
to use it.
say it worked. Say like it
Like
recorded,
like
it didn't turn
100%.
off, like you could get the footage easily, like
I don't see why not. If it's sharp, if you got a good lens on there, I don't see why I wouldn't. I don't know that I don't know that I would ever trust it as an A cam, but if I was doing like a fun little project or I was doing something where like I just needed a third camera as a wide,
yeah,
why not? Why wouldn't you?
it looks so cool. This footage.
I really
looks
just wanted to
insane.
have fun with it. I just want to mess around with it. But
What's with this footage? It looks crazy.
yeah, did you watch any of the sample videos that people made? They look great.
No, I don't. They didn't even link sample videos.
They don't link any. I think there's one called. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, the footage looks pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that would be crazy. So like, and then you could. I mean, people could design it however the way they want it too.
That's the other thing. Is like that case looks kind of stupid. Like I would be interested in trying to figure out a different design for it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this video is worth watching. People aren't shooting anything too interesting with it yet, which is why I also want to make one so that I can get some better footage out there. But
like,
here's a video.
I like this guy comparing it to Red. It's like, come on, man.
Hey, it's probably more reliable than the red one that I bought that you mailed me.
God, that thing was insane, dude.
God, I love. It was so amazing that you went and
Powering
bought that thing.
up was like so insane.
It took like
10
5 full minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe more. I don't know. It was crazy.
Vimeo doesn't want to work. Okay, here we go. Come on.
This is just like nature-y stuff, but it looks good.
It kind of has like the sensor kind of has a look to it. I don't know why this isn't working.
It has a cool look to it, and that's the sensor. What is this sensor from? I forgot they were talking about where this sensor was
Is
used.
it that Sony M50 or whatever that those people were building those cameras out of? Remember
I
that?
can't remember. There's something that this sensor was used on. That's why it's like known as like this like really good sensor for what it is, for how small it is.
Dang, I don't know why, but it's not. Vimeo keeps telling me
It's not playing. Oh, let me find you a different one.
What if they
Here.
could just like maybe they should just take the Mark II sensor out of it and put the magic lantern into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish.
Yeah, 2K. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, why is this only on Vimeo? I can't. There's no other.
A $50
for it.
sensor. I mean, that's the dream, right? That built into.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they have it.
Video.
The other thing I found out is Micro Center has all the parts. Like they have like a new maker
That's cool.
section.
Yeah, that's really
So they have all the pieces that I need. I don't even have to order them from, like AliExpress or whatever. Well, there's this one. This one's less cool, but this guy was driving his little RC truck around.
Don't mind the Volvo commercial on the side here. It's not... Let me know if this full screens. That's the because it's full screening my entire screen, so I can't see what it looks like.
I will. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I like stuff like that. It's a little bit on the like cutting edge, so it's gonna be. I don't know that it's reliable or useful or whatever,
Right,
but.
right. I mean that makes sense.
But the idea behind it, that like if there's a kid who got a fucking 3D printer for his birthday and then has, the ability to spend another $250, can have a cinema camera. Like,
Done.
that's nuts. That's crazy. Nowhere else can you buy one for that price. So this is pretty, this is definitely something I would have done if this came out when I was like 16.
I guess it's my audio renderer is having trouble loading. So some more technical difficulties. It won't let me play any of it.
That's annoying. Well,
Face.
we'll link one in the description. How about that?
Yeah, I think as soon as you get your thing, dude, you should start trying to print some of this camera stuff. It's really a good idea. A good use of it versus like
Yeah, but I just need to get the printer working.
Yeah. So
It also records straight to SSD, just like the Pocket 4K, so you don't have to
That's
waste
nice.
money on
Yeah.
media.
SD cards, yeah.
Yeah, it's just great. It's just fucking touchscreen. It's got a fucking touchscreen. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I agree. I agree. This is a great use for a 3D printer. If you're into photography or film, there's an endless well of things you can print.
Right? Literally. But
Literally.
it does come with headaches. So if you're not like a technically savvy and don't like troubleshooting, I definitely do not recommend it because it's not the plug and play thing that they will make it out to be.
No, not at all. They want to sell it to you. That's why they say that.
Right.
But I do wish I was younger and had more time because when I was in my teens and 20s, like this is exactly what I would have spent days doing.
Right. Just get home from school,
Just fucking
hang
work
out.
on it for 7 hours straight until I got it working perfectly. Like now I can spend like 2 hours on it and I'm like, I'm fucking done with this thing. So I got to figure it out. But
It is such a pain in the ass.
it's such a pain in the ass.
But
But yeah,
yeah. So if you have
Fun.
any 3D printer questions, I can answer a few resin questions.
I'll say this.
cameras.
The reason I was looking at a resin printer was because some of the things we want to print are for a board game. My buddy wanted to print some terrain for one of the board games we play, Kingdom Death, and I thought that the filament printer wouldn't be able to get the kind of detail you need for that, but actually at the highest setting, it's pretty good. Like it's good enough if you paint it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be looking at it like this, you know?
That's the
So-
whole thing is you gotta remember tabletop distance is like, it's like looking
Yeah,
at
it's like a
paintings,
really-
right? Like you're not supposed to go up to a painting and fucking look at it like paint stroke by there
Right.
goes my camera. My camera's dying.
Need a new battery?
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think 3D printing is cool. I really like it actually, even with the headache.
I do too. I hope it gets easier, but I like that you can jump in for $100, which is
That's
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was my jump in point. I don't know if
Yeah.
I could be like $500 jump in point. Like,
If I get really into it, maybe I would spend that on a second one.
I mean, it's funny because I was looking at like I'm saying like not for your first printer, I wouldn't put 500 in, but
no, I would not. I would see if you are interested in it with
Yeah.
$100.
yeah,
But,
I was looking at some printers just because we were talking about those voxel lines, and the new printers right now
yeah.
are like twice essentially the pixel resolution that it can print
Whoa.
compared to my printer.
So you gonna get one?
Nah, not right now. I have to wait till summer too. It's a little too cold to print resin. Resin has to be at a certain temperature for it to be really good, and I think that's why my prints are failing because it's been pretty cold.
Just bring it in the house.
Oh yeah.
Just bring it in the,
Or
just bring it in the house.
Just like leave my kid in the room with it. Let her check out what's going on.
Let her mess with it. Yeah, who
Yeah,
cares?
she'll figure
It's
it out.
kid friendly.
It's good.
Your camera's not happy, bro.
It's dying. He's like, I'm dead. It's
still
interesting.
working,
If
though.
it's plugged into the computer, I don't understand. Shouldn't the USB?
Does it not charge? Maybe it doesn't charge over.
I feel like it's holding on. Like that's why it's like not completely getting killed because it's just like giving it just enough juice to go in and out. But yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I guess we can sign off.
A quick one today.
Yeah. I guess this is how we'll have to do it. I have to figure out the audio thing with playing videos, but we'll see how that goes next time. It won't take.
Well, not to, yeah. I mean, we can end the stream and talk about it, but yeah, I have some ideas.
Okay, perfect. Okay. 3D printing questions to 3D printing noobs. You can post them.
Yeah, put them in. We'll address them next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Or don't. I don't care.
We don't care. We don't give a
Like-
shit. We don't give a shit.